Well, a very warm welcome to RPTV. It's Qipco 1000 Guineas time. Now, the two gentlemen to my right, since the end of Cheltenham, have been trying to bash the studio doors in a la Jack Nicholson in The Shining Star. We've been itching to get another four of them going. Here we are again then, gentlemen. Different code this time, but hopefully some good winners along the way. Now, Hot Snap leads the market, half-sister to Midday, of course. Henry Cecil's filly looked impressive when last seen, Nick, and do you think she justifies her position at 7-2 at the top of the market?
Yeah, I'd say she probably does. You know, yeah, she won brilliantly in the Nell Gwyn, I thought. Anyone who's got a voucher for Sky Lantern, I think it's bad news for her because I can't see any reason why she should reverse that form. You think Sky Lantern's a much more experienced horse going into the race. Hot Snap had only run once, and that was an all-weather maiden win. None too impressive win either. But, you know, it was significant that Henry Cecil was happy to let her take her chance. And for half the race, she looked all at sea. But then when she found that gap up the rails, the penny seemed to drop, and she came home so strongly. And she came home much stronger than Sky Lantern, who also cruised into the race, but didn't pick up half as well as Hot Snap did. You'd think she'd only improve for that. She's got to. She's only had 2 starts, ever. So, yeah, I mean, visually, she was very, very impressive. The breeding's there. She's a half-sister to Midday, one of Cecil's best horses of recent times. You think the best is yet to come. So,
would you back her at 7-2?
Yeah, that's the question. I don't think she'll probably go in much more than that now. So personally, I wouldn't. But that's not to say. I mean, you asked me if she was, a worthy favourite. I think she is the one you have to base the market around. Yeah.
Indeed, Graham. What would be your opinion on the favourite?
It's a weird one for me because I watched the race and she was in big trouble. I thought for the whole race, apart from the last 2 furlongs, when she really picked them off strongly. And won going away nice and easily. And after the race, straight away, I thought she'll win the Guineas. But as I've come around a bit more and thought about it a bit more, I've seen this happen before. I've seen horses like this that are bred to get further and run like they want further. I've seen them turn up in the 1000 Guineas, and they get found out usually by something that's just really a speed horse.
Bit turbo, yeah.
This 1000 Guineas, I mean, it's often referred to, both the Guineas are often referred to as sort of the last big 2-year-old race of the season. You know, it's usually won by the best 2-year-old, and you certainly can't give Hot Snap that tag. I get the feeling in the 1000 Guineas, it's obviously going to be a huge field. It's going to be a really strong pace. Now I get the feeling that Richard Hughes, if he rides Sky Lantern or whoever's on Sky Lantern, will be able to get a better track into the race. He'll have a horse that will take him there. He'll have a horse to chase, a horse to sit behind. And it wouldn't entirely surprise me if Hot Snap, if it reversed the form with Hot Snap, Sky Lantern. I've got this nagging doubt in my mind that tells me that this race is usually won by a horse that's got a lot of form over 5-6 furlongs as a 2-year-old. And Hot Snap's only run as a 2-year-old was over a mile at Kempton, made really hard work of winning it. And if Hot Snap doesn't learn from that Nell Gwyn run and runs very green and gets behind, I don't think that she'll get back at them in the Guineas in the same way that she did in the Nell Gwyn, even though it is over an extra furlong.
Okay, then, well, if you're not interested on those aforementioned horses, is there one here you think's offering a bit of value?
There's a few interesting ones. I've heard all sorts of stories about Just the Judge being an absolute aeroplane. Unbeaten in 3 starts, fits the profile of a Guineas winner, really. It's got a lot of form over shorter, shows plenty of speed, a real early season type, top class 2-year-old. I don't really see too many chinks in the armour of Just the Judge. I think that Just the Judge is going to be a big runner.
Okay, and yourself then, Nick?
Yeah, I'd agree with G-Rod. Just the Judge is a runner, although I would be concerned about how badly Nargis run, although it was almost too bad to be true. She should have run a lot better than she did last week. What a name's interesting. You know, she's got good form with Olympic Glory, who we saw come out win at Newbury last weekend and has had a comeback win. I do take G-Rod's point of view, his general point about the Guineas being the last 2-year-old race of the season, having shown good form at 2. So my main tip for this race, always has been for quite some time, has been Big Break. Now, I was very, very strong on her a couple of weeks ago, but Hot Snap's confused the situation because they're both owned by the same man, Khalid Abdullah. So whether he'll run the 2 against each other or whether she'll be safe for the Irish Guineas, I don't know. But I was really impressed with her as a 2-year-old. We were on about showing decent 2-year-old form. Well, she showed it. Won a good Leopardstown maiden, really taking style, won it fantastically well on a second start. And then Dermot Weld on the last start put her in against the Colts in the Kill of Holland Stakes, which is a good trial sometimes in Irish terms for this race. I think footsteps in the sand, going back a few years, won that race and then came and won the 2,000 Guineas. Again, that was the wrong ground for her. It was soft ground, but she won it really, really well, beat them all comfortably. And she was on my radar for this race back then. The only concern has been that Wells has been complaining that the Irish winter has been very, very harsh and some of his horses have been behind, including Big Break. So whether she makes it or not is a moot point at this moment in time. As far as I'm aware, she's still an intended runner, but whether he might save her, I don't know. And the encouraging thing is, if you do fancy her, is that Weld, more recently, in the last couple of weeks, has been firing in the winners. And I wouldn't call her a second string to Hot Snap. I think she's equally as unexposed and could be anything as the current favourite.
12 to 1, a decent bit of price there. And quickly then, Graham, anything else that's grabbing your eyes?
Yeah, probably the one that, if I was going to back one at this stage, would probably be Maureen, who won nicely in the trial.
14 to 1. Yeah.
Last season, I saw this also first time out at Newbury. I thought I was seeing a real superstar in the making. It's got a lot of pace, this horse. It's got a very high cruising speed and seems to have a nice turn of foot at the end. And again, this is a race where you need to travel well and you need to have a good turn of foot. And I think the Maureen's got that. Backed her in the race where she was beaten by Rosdu Queen at Newmarket, Group 1 race at the end of the season. A very, very disappointing run, finishing 9th of well beaten. And I couldn't understand what had happened that day. And I thought something was too bad to be true. And sure enough, Rosdu Queen was well behind her the other day when she comfortably reversed the form in the trial. And I can't really understand why she's such a big price after winning, well, really the main trial for the race and showing very, very good 2-year-old form and a very speedy time. So I like 2 in the race. I think Just the Judge is the one to beat, but I'd back Maureen at the prices because she's, well, more than double the price.
Brilliant. Hopefully we've hit the nail on the head somewhere along the line. Thanks for watching and see you again soon.